Holy shit. I've got a Cyborg. I don't know what to do. Talk. I'm going to go with it. This is Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid and my very, very special guest, the Cyborg, Rick. Thank you, my man.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you.
Wow. I got fucking Rick Recon on the goddamn show. I've been blown away since you said yes. I go, this guy, Don Kincaid, he's a little goofy. He's a little silly. I think the side wants to fuck with Don Kincaid. Hey, here you are, baby.
I'm here, man. I really am. And, I appreciate you for having me on this show because, man, you know what? This is one of the only platforms there is, man, like these days. Like, we don't have our squared circle right now, and it's, this is a way for us to, like, talk to the fans and connect with them. And, man, I appreciate this because, dude, everybody's been on Stirring the Pot, man. Everybody. So,
invite your friends, invite your family. I don't give a shit. Let's
get them all.
What I like to do is I pull back the curtain a little bit. We try to get behind if you're a real cyborg or not. We try to figure that out all together. And we also for the fans that have never met you, for the fans in the series that want to see more, because Academy's gorgeous. I look like a pot of crap. He's gorgeous. That's what we do here. And so, first question I've been wanting to ask you since I even met you way down the road. Are you a real cyborg?
Brother, I'm about as real as it gets. If you know what, the cyborg gimmick is it's more true to life than you would think, honestly. And I'll get into that as we go along, but it fits me and is actually closer to who I really am than a lot of people think. It's not really just a gimmick.
Wow. So they do say an extension of your own personality, just amped up a little bit in wrestling. That is what brings some of the best characters alive. And because it's a little easier to take from yourself than it is to create something from scratch, So, dude, you're doing a bang-up job as a cyborg. I've sold in when I saw Rick Cyborg way back. Not way back. I haven't been in the game that long, but when I did first meet you, I bring my dad to all the shows. Don't tell my dad I said this because he probably won't go to any more shows with me. I don't think he was really sold on the Cyborg. Me? I was sold on it day one. It took that a little bit to warm up on you, but he's sold on Rick Recon now, baby. I'll tell you that.
That's pretty much the reaction to everybody. It's either they with it immediately, or I gotta warm them up a bit. But everybody gets on board eventually. That's just how it is. Because some people immediately get it, and then some people are like, "Oh, I don't know about this," but everybody jumps on board the Rick train eventually.
Hey, this is a family show. We cuss. We don't talk about trains and shit. Woo! You better watch yourself, my man. So what
I'm a one-man train, brother. I'm greedy, so
hey, all right.
That's just me, man.
We've got that established now for the fans out there because Rick Recon, he's a lady's favorite. I'll tell you that. I know some of the girls in the area that are fans, and they love them some Rick Recon because again, look at the guy. So you have come my way a little bit more. The Connecticut, I could travel to Massachusetts pretty comfortably.
Yeah.
Where are you based from? Because you come from far, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I come from. It's because of how much I spend time down there. New York City has kind of become like a second home. Because I'm running through, Recombination Wrestling. Bronx Wrestling Federation. I've obviously, myself and the squad have ran through that completely, owned that place. Any promotion down in like New York City, we've been to, at least once or twice. Like, that's like a home away from home. But now, I mean, that's like, it sucks because it's like that's like ground zero for this shit that's going on. You know what I mean? My whole squad, pretty much all my whole squad lives down there. So it's like I'm like cut off from them because where I'm at is like my home base is like in Albany. So Albany, New York. So I'm kind of away from that, which is good because I'm not around this shit, but it's bad because I'm like, my squad ain't around, and I worry about them every day, legit.
Well, I'm sure the Cyborg doesn't just think to himself, hey, I'm kind of bored. Why don't I throw on Stir in the Pot? So let me fill you in that I've had one of your members, Dominic De Niro. We talked. He let a little bit loose. And one of the fans was looking at it and goes, is that guy in a strip club? I go, hey, that's neither here or there, so I don't know. We had a great time. So you are part of the, and I want to say this correct because I don't know what this what the Cyborg can do to my phone to hack me. He could probably fucking shoot a laser. You're part of the. Might. You probably could. The Sasuke squad. Is that correct?
It's acceptable. That's about as close as most people get, and that's fine. Because there's some people that butcher it. Satsujin, Sad Susans. Some people think we're still like the whole same thing, and I'm like, dude, your joke's about a year old, my guy. Like, update your comebacks on us.
That's what I always say. Get more material. That's definitely, you got to get more material.
Come on.
Now the squad has, like you said, run amok, and holy fuck, you guys mean business every single time. And I don't mean just together, but singles wrestling. Yes. You guys mean serious business every time you get in between. No, when you come out the curtain, that's when it starts. Now there's 4 of you, but I'm to understand there's 6 as a total, which totally mind fucked me because I had no idea. I thought I was updated on your shit, but maybe I should pay a little closer attention. So that's my fault. My bad. Don't kill me yet. Hear me out. We have Jaden, we have Chris Barton, we have Dominic De Niro, and Rick Recon. The brotherhood that you guys have going on has been described to us, the fans, by Dominic De Niro, but I like to get the words of everybody, and since you guys are kind of joined in on the same thing, give us your relationship with, starting with one Dominic De Niro, please, and the squad and how Rick Recon really got put into the squad, or did he just join right in? And how's it going with the squad nowadays?
Well, like I said, at this particular time with everything that's going on with this bullshit virus that nobody seemed to take seriously when it first showed up, I'm kind of cut off from them. So, and they all live in New York City, which is like the worst cesspool of all time for this type of thing. You know what I mean? And I talk to them every day. I check in on them every day because I want to make sure that they're okay. Like this goes beyond just like a wrestling thing or like a booking thing. This is like, I want to make sure my brothers don't get sick and die. This is a legit thing. So it should be taken seriously. That's I'm just going to throw that out there for anybody who might be listening and think this is like some shit that's just going to blow over. It's not. Fuck your opinion, stay the fuck inside, or I'm going to put you inside. That's all I'm going to say for that. But as far as the squad, like, it really started when I got booked as, actually, honestly, it was a replacement because some guy didn't show up to Recombination Wrestling. And the owner, Anthony Cole, who is also part of our squad. He's not always there, but he's kind of the businessman who, takes care of us and everything. Mm-hmm. He reached out to me and was like, I heard good things about you. How about you come on down?
worked one match, and he said, "That guy's a badass. I love that guy." And I met Eric Jaden, and we hit it off pretty much immediately. We kind of just chatted a bit. We didn't really work each other or anything, but he had come up with the idea for a bunch of assassins, basically, to come in, take over company, take the gold, run wild, and do what we wanted to do, because there really wasn't anything like that in the independents at that level. Like anything like that, like the Young Bucks or like the Elite or anything like that. That kind of a faction was like obviously on like a bigger stage. So we're like, let's do that, but let's do it, give it our own flavor. So, you know, I got approached at a LAW show, Legendary Action Wrestling. They were running a show in Brooklyn. Eric Jaden had came up to me and to Dom and Chris and was like, listen, I'm putting together a team. It was very Avengers style, but very, very violent Avengers style. I said, I need a team because I want to fuck everybody up here. I want to take these titles and I want to run this company. And I'm like, say no more, man. Let's go. Let's go fuck somebody up. So we went, he just destroyed everyone. The whole building, their whole roster. You know, one guy actually told me, because I had a bat in my hand, and he said, put the bat down. I said, okay. Threw the bat and just clocked him in the face. I don't need a bat to knock you out, dude. Like, obviously. Cyborg, metal bones, hello. So, which I'll get into that later. And it exploded from there, because people saw that and they said, that's awesome. We love that. Let's try to work with these guys a little more. And then Mr. Cole was able to get us into BWF. And we showed up there. We did the same thing. We put the beats on Brother Greatness, who I think you know from Test of Strength. We put the beats on him. And that was the statement. Biggest baby face in the company, put the beats on him, then people will pay attention. It had to be done, man. But, you know, I think we've mended fences at this point with him. But we came in and we just ran roughshod for an entire year. A whole year. You couldn't beat us. You couldn't stop us. You know, at that point, I had 2 titles in the same company. I actually unified 2 titles. If you look at the record books, I am the last United States champion for BWF and the last 5 boroughs champion for BWF, because when I won those titles, I united. So now it is the New York City Championship that is held by Steve Mack, and I have still yet to get my rematch for that title. So that we're going to have a chat with management at BWF about that. But that's pretty much boiled down what the squad has been doing for a year and a half, is just winning and elevating wherever we go, not only the companies, but ourselves at the same time.
Now, as a cyborg, as yourself, you look about, 12 feet tall. You are a big gentleman, I must say, because I'm a little skinny vessel. I weigh maybe like Ronnie Ribbs, SOG. I think he said I weigh like 35 pounds or so, which is probably not that far off. But you guys are running roughshod. How is it being, and I know I use the word villain or heel and the word face or hero or baby face, if you will. You guys kind of fall in an odd category, because as I talked to Mr. De Niro, it's up to the people to decide what they do with the squad when the squad comes out. You guys have a stature, and it's pretty much kill, kill, kill. It doesn't seem to matter to the fans. They cheer the fuck out of you guys. It's crazy, right?
They really do. This is the thing, is that the whole hero villain thing the lines have been blurred, because somebody once said, and I forgot who it was, but you are always the hero in your own story, and you will always be the villain in someone else's story.
That's pretty true.
We're just going to be who we are and do what we want. If you cheer for us, cool. You boo us, we don't give a damn. We're still gonna do what we want. That's just how it is. This is who we are, like, personally. We don't care. We just don't. We want to work the best guys in the business, the top guys in the business, and get to the top of the business. It doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter if you're cheered. It doesn't matter if you're booed. It doesn't matter if you get liquor thrown at us, which happens at BWF, by the way.
Dude, you guys are crazy at BWF.
Yes, they are nuts. They've thrown liquor at us. They've thrown garbage at us. I mean, they were ready to jump the guardrails at us. I mean, if you jump the guardrail, I'm just gonna knock you out. But that's besides the point. but that's just how it is. And like even like Recombination Wrestling, like they're like, it's weird because we do the same thing as we've done at BWF, and we get cheered the whole time. So we're like these like pseudo heroes, pseudo baby faces in a sense. If you want to use the term baby face, but that's just who we are. We're really not like what you see, like you said, is mostly just us turned up a lot because we have now a platform to do it on a stage and for quote unquote entertainment purposes, for our own entertainment in front of fans. And then just we do what we want. That's it. And it's obviously worked, period. Wherever we go.
Yeah, it has. Even like I've described to Mr. De Niro, all 4 of you or 6 of you, which I've yet to see, or if it's 2 of you or 1 of you, like you've come into Paradise Alley. Same thing with Mr. De Niro, singles matches. You don't like, and I know that the squad is part of the whole thing, and it's part of your brand, and you bring it with you no matter where you go. But you seem to keep the Recon, the Cyborg part of it, very in front when you do your singles match, and that character is very. It catches your eye because wait, what the fuck? What's going on over there? So when you first come out and you've never seen Rick Recon, you're like, oh no shit. Like you said, if you get it, you get it. But if you don't, sometimes it takes a little bit to warm up. My curiosity again, now that we figured out you're not totally a cyborg. Where did the whole cyborg thing come up? And I've seen pictures because, hey, sometimes I got to stalk a brother to get a few pictures to put on the stuff. I'm not really stalk. I won't use the word stalk.
It's all right. Believe me, I've had my share of actual, like, internet troll stalkers, believe me, both male and female. And it's trust me.
I can imagine.
The message requests and the spam folder in Messenger. I'm gonna bust those out and bust out some screenshots sometime and put those up. And you know what? You're gonna see some shit. Females aren't the only ones that get really weird DMs.
And if you could do all of us fans a favor, hashtag stirring the pot on them bitches. That's going to be fun. Come on.
No, I will. Like, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to just put that right on in there. And your ass is getting tagged in there. Like, Rick Recon is with John Kincaid. You're going to get tagged.
See what we get when we invite them on. The men and women in our industry, they may be mean, they may be nasty, but you know what? They give us a little love sometimes, fans. So come on now. That is some cool shit right there, man. Hey, don't show the deep pics. Whatever you do, do not hashtag stirring the pot on the deep.
Oh, no, I won't do that. I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that.
My man, Rick Recon, singing us a tune. Oh, my God. Hey, the Cyborg, the character's very... at one point, right now, it's very, very much different than it was. And that's where I'm kind of bringing that whole stalking. I mean, following you on Facebook. The pictures that I found are very different than what I know Rick Recon now. Can you take us a little bit to the evolution of Rick Recon and how you came to now?
Well, I think a lot of it had to do with the guy, and I didn't really realize it until maybe like a year and a half ago. But The guy who trained me, his name is Shockwave the Robot. And
Wait. Pause, say, pause, if you will, in French. You were trained by a robot, and I know Christina Marie, your sister, and you guys are got some love. I spoke to Miss Christina Marie last night. She said the same thing, and I forgot to ask her, how the fuck do you get trained by a robot?
you get your ass kicked because he's a robot. Like that is why she is so tough. That's why she is so strong, and because she had to. That's how we survived. That's how I became. The foundation of the cyborg was built was because I was a human that had to survive against a robot kicking my ass for 2 years straight to be trained to be a professional wrestler. Like, he's no joke. Like, I tried to low blow him one time because he was being a pain in my ass, and I hurt my arm. And nothing happened to him.
He's a robot. What are you doing?
Listen, man, desperate times call for the desperatest of measures. And it hurt. I still have the scar on my arm from that. But that's who trained me. So, I mean, like, he's an odd cat. He just is. I'm going to leave it at that. But I'll give him all the credit for the foundation of the cyborg of Rick Recon. When you see all that and you go, wow, that was cool. Oh, that was smooth. That's because he'd had me do it about 20,000 times. Even if I did it perfect, he'd go, oh, do it again. Do it again. Do it again. That's just how he was. He's a stickler. He's a perfectionist. I hate him, but I love him. So that's where a lot of it came from, and a lot of it also came from my love. And I don't like to be called a mark, but I'm a Terminator mark.
Okay.
I love Terminator.
No, the word mark, it goes in weird directions. We just like to say fans. What's the matter with, instead of a mark, we could be a fan of the Terminator. We're a fan of Rick Recon, I'll tell you that.
I'm fine. I'm a super fan of Terminator. Period. I've been a fan of the Terminator for years, so it's not like this just came out of nowhere and I'm like, oh, that looks cool, I think I'll go with that for a gimmick. Nah, screw that. I've been a Terminator fan forever, since I was a kid. Okay, first Terminator I saw, of course, it's the best one. T2. Best one. Probably in the top 5 best movies of all time. Period. Fight me. Dude, I saw that. I saw Arnold, and I said, that's it. This guy's the man. I love this shit. So, and I think that also started my, down the line, obviously, of, all right, he looks really good. I got to actually work out now, because that doesn't just happen overnight. You don't just grow like that. So that's a lot of foundational shit for me was Terminator, big time. So that's why, dude, I come out with the shades, Terminator. I come out, actually, when all this bullshit is done, I will be coming out to a new entrance song, which is actually the T2 theme that was covered by Austrian Death Machine. So it's a heavy metal cover of T2, so, that's how much of a fan of Terminator I am.
Wow. Man, fans, interview after interview after interview. I don't know if you realize what we're all getting together. The evolution of characters. May it be an entrance song, may it be gear. We've been told there's going to be a new look. Be it on the lookout for others that I've interviewed. Or, do you know Isana, the suplex sweetheart?
Oh, yes, I do. I love her. She is a sweetheart.
I've been spreading the word on my last couple of interviews. I actually interviewed her first last night. She's turning to the dark side.
Oh, okay. Hey, man, well, you know what? When we all come back from this, we got to have to come out with a bang, man, because there's going to be so much wrestling and so much hype. Everybody's going to want to lose their shit, do 20 billion stupid spots and get killed. That's just how this shit's going to happen. So I get it. I get having new looks, new gimmicks, updates, the whole shebang. I'm getting new gear designed right now. So like the trust me, I'm on that bandwagon too.
Well, I know I coughed twice during your thing. I apologize. I don't have the Kincaid. The
You don't
Kincaid.
have
Oh, hey. I just try to make it light. I'm sorry.
no, it's great. No, it's good. We all need that, man. We really all need that, and I appreciate the lightheartedness on it. Believe me.
The Cyborg, again, he stands out completely different, and that's what you have to do in wrestling, because if you don't stand out, you kind of get lost in that shuffle of wrestling, which is very easy, and it pertains to your gear, it pertains to your stature, your confidence, what you portray out to the fans, and such. And Mr. Recon isn't a whole lot of touchy feely at the shows. I'll tell you that right now. And I kind of found myself in a weird spot at one time. And I thought I was going to actually quit doing all of the footage. And I got a lot of love from all of you men and women. But I don't know if Rick Recon followed me close enough and didn't realize that I wasn't leaving, because I had a lot of friends reach out and kind of talk me off that ledge. I was at a PW show. Rick Recon comes out. He's a cyborg. Nobody fucks with him. And he came right over to me and gave me such a hug. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to melt right now. The love you shared with me, Rick, it was amazing. Just that alone, for me as a fan, that will last a lifetime, first off. But it's always just that little thing right there. That'd be worth, I don't care if I drove 3 hours. That alone, that's worth the drive for me. And I thank you so much for that kind of love, man.
Brother, that was I knew you were kind of on that ledge. That's why I did that. I wanted you to know that there were people that appreciated what you do. And there's not enough people like you, man.
Well,
so legit, just from one to another, like that's why I did that. I could take a few seconds out of the killing machine to just give you that appreciation, man.
It melted my heart. I was sitting next to Laura C, and I go, oh my God, Rick Recon hugged me, and he meant it. Oh my God. And she was cracking up, and she's like, oh, it was fucking amazing. Oh, still, that's the shit that, those are those little things in wrestling that you never, as a fan, you never forget. That's like, hugging a Shawn Michaels or somebody in a bigger leagues, but you get to see Rick Recon on a regular basis, and you get to be part of his social media and see what he does. And it just meant a ton to me. Do you find yourself interactive with many fans? Because like you said, you're a Terminator. You've got kind of tunnel vision. You come around the ring, you get in the ring, you kill, you do your job, and you take off. Do you really interact with many fans as you come out as a cyborg?
I think it depends. Like I said, I'm who I am no matter where I go, no matter what promotion. But there's some promotions that have just kind of, I guess you could say, kind of pried open the metal heart a little bit and kind of like let my guard down a little bit. That have just like welcomed me. Actually, the beautiful title that I have right here is the Northeast Championship from Immortal Championship Wrestling, and that is probably the closest thing to a home promotion that I can have. And that fan base has been with me for years. They've cheered me from every match, every time I come out of the curtain. And it doesn't matter. Like I said, I'm ruthless. I'm a killing machine. Like no matter what, it doesn't matter who it's against. I'm just gonna be who I am. And but it doesn't matter to them. They always cheer for me no matter what. I don't know how many times I've come through the back after a match, and everybody in the back goes, "Dude, you had like the biggest pop in the night, man. What the hell?" Like, why do you get the Hogan treatment? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, don't hate. I'm sorry. That's not my fault. Not my fault. They like to watch Terminator kill people and they cheer. It's not my fault.
The
You know,
fans.
they get down against everybody. I mean, I worked Garrett Holiday in like one of his first times there at Immortal, and I mean, he was doing everything he possibly could, and they just cheered me. And I'm like, sorry, man, as I punch him in the face. Everybody. I worked Simon Gotch at the last Immortal show that they did, and like it was the same thing. It's certain places. It just depends. It really just depends on. Also, it depends on who it is, because let's face it. I walk into PAPW. I go against, the golden one, which he certainly has earned that spot, believe me, and he's fantastic talent. Richard Holiday. I walk into PAPW against Richard Holiday. I'm going to get booed out the building, and I'm just expecting that. So I'm not changing nothing. I'm just going to do my thing exactly like I've always done it. So, but I think a little more. I've interacted a little more with fans than I used to. It's kind of that change of Arnold in T1 to T2 when he's kind of learning to be human a little bit. So,
are you going to evolve your Cyborg? Hey, give us a little something. Are you going to evolve your Cyborg character through the Terminator movies?
I just might. Who knows? You never know how. We're gonna skip T3 because that shouldn't count. That was a fucking abomination.
Hey,
I'm just gonna get that out the way.
That girl looked fantastic in that red latex or whatever the hell.
She looked fantastic, but I don't know what the fuck they did to John Connor. They made him a bitch. And get out of that. All right. You know what? I just might. I feel like I'm slowly starting to get more towards the one Terminator movie that everybody doesn't really give a lot of credit to that was good was Terminator Salvation, when they were already in Judgment Day, and they had a human Terminator. Like, he was a human. He just had all his insides taken out and Terminator shit put back in. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. So who knows? I might actually go through the whole line of it. You never know. It really depends on where this whole thing goes with the Cyborg. I feel it's what it is now is working. It's gone from a very overly, I would say, robotic Iceman type thing to being just a tad more human and a tad more approachable and a little bit more palatable, as it were. So maybe that's why people are warming up to me, as you say.
I have to ask because you bring accessories. You wear accessories as part of your entrance. There's, the chest plate and stuff. It's something that as a fan, when you don't have, how do I put it? When many of the guys that are working, or women are working said show, they wear a singlet, they wear trunks, they wear, tights. They don't have accessories, and maybe some of them don't use them for their flavor. Do you ever get your balls busted about what you bring to the ring? Very curious.
No, actually, pretty much anytime I put anything on in the back, everybody in the back goes, "Oh man, that's cool. I wish I thought of that."
Good.
Oh, that's kind of cool, man. But why? But that's why I also change it up, because this business has a knack for seeing something original and then trying to either rip it off totally, bite off of it, and it's usually a bad caricature of it. I just try to be. Listen, I just try to be me. I just try to be original, because I don't need to be the next so and so. I don't need to. Oh, he kind of looks like, which is like. I've heard it all. Oh, you look like Roman Reigns. You look like Jay White. You look like John Morrison, Seth Rollins, a lighter skinned Seth Rollins. That's my favorite one. Um, like I've heard all of that already, and that's fine. Like, I mean, those are some good guys to be compared to. Those are very successful guys in this business, but I don't need to be the next so and so or a light version of him or that guy. I just want to be the first and only Rick Recon, where you can't duplicate me. I don't want to duplicate. I mean, I'm flattered by somebody trying to bite off me, but don't duplicate me. Do your own thing. You know, like, trust me, I've had that before, and I'm just, oh God, it was such a headache. But I'll be here for hours over that. But I'm not even. That's too much stirring the pot. That's like taking the pot the fuck over and just it's done. Like I'm not gonna go there. You'll get all the heat, man. I don't need that. Listen, the chess piece was just because I was like, that's cool. I like it. It's just it was just an entrance thing. It's not even anything I wear in the ring. It's just like, it's a cool entrance thing. It's eye-catching, and they think it's cool. But now, like, I've moved on to, I have like a silver gold leather vest, you know, like I've upgraded, again, I've evolved, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I do. Like, I try to do it frequently enough that people go, oh, that's cool. You know, they don't get used to the same thing for like, so some guys had the same gear for like 10 years. I'm like, come on, man, you could get a new singlet every like few years. It's okay. Like, they're going to know who you are.
And as I like to say, Mr. HVO, High Voltage Octane, he likes to say, wash your gear.
Wash your damn gear. That's right. Wash your damn gear. Jesus, it's not hard. You do, half these guys that don't wash their gear do like 1 or 2 shows a month. Wash your gear, bro. It's not like you do Friday, Saturday, Sunday in a row. I could understand that. Okay. But when I do Friday, Saturday, Sunday shows, I have at least 2 pairs of gear. I got the spray disinfectant, the Febreze, bro, and I hang it out in the back of the car or in the hotel room. Like, wash your damn gear. And drink your water, too.
Drink your water. Oh, my God. Hey, we just found out what it takes to get a cyborg a little riled up. Talk about dirty gear.
Dirty gear, man.
God.
Oh, God. That was a fun time for me, man. You were like, gear, mother effer. Let's go. That was fantastic. Let's talk about that beautiful championship over your shoulder. How long have you been champion?
Since November 23rd, last November. I took this from Bin Hamin. Man, that was a long time coming. Like, if you've ever, like, I'm sure you have. You're a dude. Okay. If you've ever had, like, the best way to describe this is, like, if you've ever had blue balls, and you just, like, come on, man. Come on, dude. Like, let's go. And then you finally get it, and you're like, oh, thank you, Christ. That place blew up, by the way, like, when I won it. Like, I was like, holy shit, these people are loud. Like, they didn't stop going for, like, 5 minutes. And I'm like, all right, we got to get to the main event. Like, I'm not trying to take too much away from these guys. Damn, they've had to wait through. That was like, oh, my God, that show, good show. But 12 matches, I'm number 11. I've had to wait through that whole time, and the poor main event was like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. I'm not trying to blow them out. So I'm trying to, like, yay, go back through the curtain real quick. I'm not trying to, like, take away from the main. But my good God, it felt good to get this title. Like, it really did. I mean, there's only one Northeast championship in any active promotion within the Northeast. So, like, I know a lot of people might think it's egotistical to be like, I am the Northeast champion, the one and only, but it's actually the truth. Like, there is only one.
Hey,
Oh, that's why, like, I try to, like, I try to show it off, bring it to other promotions, elevate the title, because that's what a champion does. That's what you should be doing. You know, if you have a championship that you feel is worthy of that, you know, if you have like something that would be considered a world title, which a lot of these world titles and a lot of these like smaller promotions, and like, you don't defend it outside your county. Don't call it a world championship. But listen, if you defend it in at least 2 countries, I'll count it.
all right.
Even if it's the United States and Canada, I'll count it. Okay, it's the world championship. Suck it. That's it. So this title, like, it's just meant a lot to me because I won it in my home promotion. I won it in like all of 15 minutes from, like, you know, my hometown. So I was pretty much hometown boy at that point, as close as it was going to get to hometown. You know, and then on top of that, you know, I defended it against like Simon fucking Gotch, man. Like, or Simon Grimm, as he goes by in MLW now. But man, that was first title defense against that guy. It was like, yeah, give me the best you got. They gave me him, and I went, oh shit, okay, that's cool. That's all right. It's cool.
No, the way you said it, that's cool. All right, I got this. I'm the champ. That's Gotch, but I got this. I got this. Did you see what I did?
Yeah.
So anyhow, the championship, you win it. Now you're going against Simon Gotch, a little bit bigger than name than maybe that you're used to going against, because you know he's been there, done that, or whatever. Has a potential about him. Do you feel more nervous in a title? Hey, and just not even in a title match. First off, a title match, are you nervous? And does it matter if it's X guy or Habib or what did you call him?
Bin Hamin.
Bin Hamin. I can never remember that guy's name. I never. Or are you a little bit more nervous if it's a guy like Simon Gotch?
If it's a championship match, you could lose that title to, you know, maybe not anyone, but you could. I could have. Bin Hamin could have revoked his rematch clause. I could have went against him. He could have done some, you know, cheating shenanigans nonsense, you know, and I could have lost the title. Well, not even defended it once, you know. It doesn't matter who comes through the curtain. You know, you have to be on point. You have to be at the top of your game, no matter who it is. But yes, somebody like Simon Gotch, like, I sat there, you know, and on top of this, I was wrestling other matches. This wasn't like this was just like I had like a whole month to prepare for this guy, like, and that was the only match I had to do. Like, I had other matches and other promotions to do, you know, so I was, you know, getting run down and beat up. But I was sitting there as soon as that was announced. I was sitting there in training, going to training like 2, 3, 4 days a week. Like, I mean, I was sat there and watched this guy and studied him. I saw a lot of things that a lot of guys don't do is they don't study and watch their opponents. Like, it wasn't just one match. I went through 10 different matches, not what he did in WWE. Those were all excellent stuff, NXT, etc. That was all fantastic work. I went for what he was doing in MLW, what he was doing in any of these top indie promotions that he was working in. I wanted that Simon Gotch. And that's the Simon Gotch I got. And he took it to me. Like, he didn't let up at all. He couldn't have cared less whether, like, you know, who I was, in a sense. He's like, oh, you're a Terminator? Cool. I'm still going to kick you in the face. Really, really fucking hard. And he did. But, you know, I pulled it out. And it was a dominant. Okay, that might be a little overstretching it. That might be my ego talking. But it was a decisive victory. It wasn't a, you know, like, oh, yeah, he might have won, or oh, that was controversial, I won. It was 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? It was super kick to the face, kill shot, 1, 2, 3. But, man, oof. Well, I felt that one for I felt that one for a good week. Even I did. Even the Cyborg, I felt that shit.
Uh,
So yeah, the level of competitor that he is top notch. Period.
Absolutely. Simon Gotch is no joke at all, not by a long stretch. Immortal Championship Wrestling. I've never. Wait, they're not called Immortal Championship, are they? No. Just
Yeah,
Immortal.
Immortal Championship Wrestling. Yeah, that's the.
I just want to make sure because I
You
wanted to go to the next upcoming show. I was going to take a road trip with Sister Laura C. We were going to go together because I've never been to Immortal. It's a fucking haul for me. So I was going to kind of get a road buddy. We were going to take a ride up there and check out at the Mall Madness, whatever was going on up there.
Oh yeah, the one at the mall. Yeah.
Yeah. And it got canceled, so I haven't been to an Immortal show. But man, do I keep my eyes on the pulse. I try to watch as much as I can, and Immortal looks fantastic out there.
Yeah, it's top level. Like if they keep going the way they're going and continue to continue to use the best talent that they have available, continue to draw the fans in, which is obviously that's without fans. It's obvious without fans. There's really no purpose in doing this. That's why like sometimes like these shows that, and I understand why they're doing them, and I'm not really trying to throw heat on them, but like no fans shows, man, those are like those are rough, man. Like the fans is what makes it. That's what gives you the energy. Trust me. It's you doing a 15-minute match in training, just for example, with obviously no one there, you know, you're just training, is a whole world different than doing a 15-minute match in front of, you know, 300, 400, 500 fans, 1,000 fans losing their shit. Watching you is totally different. So, like, the fans is what makes it. So, but if they continue on this road in the way they've been going, Immortal could be like the top indie promotion in New York State. Certainly the greater, you know, upstate area, definitely, because who else is there to really compete against? I mean, the talent they bring in is crazy on both like larger names that they bring in, like former WWE talent, you know, obviously Simon Gotch, any of the top indie guys like Sean Carr. Like I was supposed to face Sean Carr for this at the mall show, and fucking COVID took that from me. Okay, I'm pissed. Okay, I'm so pissed. Like, oh my God, that hurt. It really hurt because I've been wanting to face that guy for 2 years. 3, actually. Screw that. It's 3 years. Yeah, just. But like Immortal is no joke. Immortal is like they're where it's at, and like I said, for me to have this as one of their champions, that means a lot. So that's a huge thanks to them for giving me the opportunity to win it and to carry it and to represent them.
Describe, is there, because we don't know about that belt because Immortal is in upstate New York, if you will, the Albany area. Now, what's with the Northeast belt? Is it like a cruiserweight kind of thing or an IC, and kind of like an IC thing? Is there a lineage? Has it been in the company for a long time, or what's going on with that belt?
No, there's only been 2 champions so far. The inaugural champion was Ben Hameen. He won it by screwing me, actually. He faked, right. Yeah, typical. Yeah, he faked an injury, got brought to the back. It was a fatal 4-way elimination match. I eliminated Johnny Moran and Garrett Holiday, and it seemed like I had won. He comes from the back, you know, cracks me in the back and makes me pass out in his camel clutch. Yeah. So I got royally screwed the first time this came out. And then of course I was chasing him for months. You know, he kept ducking me forever. Yeah, and finally I obviously got him. The first time I get him in the ring one-on-one, I beat him. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, hey.
He knew he was going to get his ass kicked. That's why he kept running from me. He kept throwing, Papadon, Greek god Papadon. He threw him at me, That's another hell of a competitor, too. That's hence why he's the immortal heavyweight champion at this point. Even though it's from nefarious means, he's no joke. But yeah, there's only been 2 champions. So this is why I'm trying to elevate it as much as possible to make it so this is a title that people come to try to take it from me, and then I continue to beat them and keep it. So,
Hey,
let's just be honest. That's pretty much the goal here. Like, bring the best, I beat the best, and then become the best. That's how this works. I don't understand why people don't understand this. This is how it works. This is me stirring the pot. This is me shooting from the hip. This is legit. Okay, give me the best people so I can beat them and then become the best. There you go. Very simple.
I applaud your candor, because that's what we do. We pull it back. We stir it up a little bit. And hey, if that kind of gets some juices flowing, if you will. Oh, you think you're better than me, Recon? Oh, well, I'm going to go to Immortal and try to take that championship from you. And that's exactly what you want, to be able to elevate your name, elevate the title, elevate the company. You, my friend, are doing a smashing job.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Believe me.
And that leads me, because I thought of this first, but I'm not that bright, so I just kind of go all over the place. But that leads me into, you follow, as many of us do, Uncle Bob Evans. And his advice is something like none other. It's very respected by, I can't even count how many men and women in the industry, from here to there, over there, around the globe, that respect Mr. Evans. And he doesn't tell you what to do. These are what works for me, or maybe you should try this. And he always kind of lays out these things. I see you comment, love, like, share, even utilize some of what he says. And not only that, I've seen you over the time of me being a fan, and a little bit more, because I kind of watch a little bit more of not the behind the scenes, but more of the guys and girls. I just pay a little more attention. And you have applied. That's the big word right there. Recon has applied some of that advice that Bob Evans has laid out. And you don't always have to take it all. You don't have to mimic it and make it your own or whatever. But his advice is beautiful. You have taken some of it. Talk about some of the stuff you've utilized, his tools that you've utilized from Bob Evans.
Well, let me just say this, Bob. And I know I'm not the first person to say this, but Bob is Uncle Bob to us. He is probably one of the best human beings that I've ever met in my life. Not just wrestling, but like in my life, period. He genuinely cares for people. Now, when he actually goes out of his way to kind of put his name on you, as it were, to say, this is one of my kids, this is one of my, like, as he says, like one of his nieces or nephews or his kids, that means that you earned his respect. That means that you have applied those things that he tells you to do. Like, he's not sitting here saying he has all the answers, but my good Lord, does he have a lot of them. Anything that one of the biggest things that he taught me was, like, if you want to see the world and you want to travel, well, you have to travel. You can't do that by sitting in your backyard and not traveling. So, I seem to take that to heart because I went with him and Dominic De Niro and Chris Barton, and we went on a road trip to Alabama.
What?
And we wrestled in Alabama. We wrestled to Alabama two nights, Friday, Saturday. We were on the way back. We were supposed to do a show in West Virginia on Sunday. We had some car troubles, and we didn't end up making that show. But Brother, we traveled, man, and we drove. We drove in shifts. I want to say that was probably one of the best weekends of my life. I learned a ridiculous amount in and out of the ring as far as how to carry yourself as a professional, as far as how to work as a professional in front of a different crowd that had no idea who I was, obviously, because I'm mostly been in the Northeast and East Coast, and Alabama is like, it's Alabama. It's Alabama, man. I mean, we were on Interstate 80 for like ever, dude, forever. I didn't know that this was this much of the country. I didn't know this was that big of a country. Goddamn. But yeah, so we did that. I also traveled with him and Tough Tim Hughes. So they collectively obviously make Tough Guy Inc. And both Tim is also a mentor. I take a lot of advice from him because he's been in ROH. He's been in it for 6-7 years. So like he's been in it for longer than I have, but he's not Bob's 25 or more. So it's kind of that middle ground of meeting of old school and new school in a sense. And we went to Ohio. It was Hamilton, Ohio, and then we went to some place, East Chahunga, Michigan. I forgot where we actually worked. It was a good place. It was a very good place that we worked. A lot of good guys that I worked were good. I just forgot the name of the town. And then we went to Detroit, which I think was the same bar that somebody, I think it was Kid Rock pulled out a gun on somebody. I forgot the name of the place, but it was a cool bar. So I had 3 great matches that weekend. But actually, side note to this, I worked those 3. I traveled that whole way and worked those 3 matches on a sprained MCL.
Holy shit!
And then these were not any goo goo gaga matches of doing nothing. These were full out Recon matches. So I used a whole lot of ace bandages and tape and everything else to keep my knee together. And I did it. If you watch the video, you'd only know if I told you. So
now you're injured. You have a road trip. You're injured, obviously. Why take that chance to go on a major road trip with an injury and work the whole weekend consistently? Why would you do that?
Some could say that it was stupid, and I might agree with them. But others would say that's called dedication, being a professional, and just gritting it out and working through it. There's a lot of guys in the top national companies that work with injuries, work through injuries. They do it all the time. So I figured, well, if that's the level I want to get at, I might as well get used to working through injuries now, huh? So, listen, if I couldn't walk or if I really couldn't put weight on my leg, then I certainly wouldn't have wrestled. But I was able to do it. I had sprained it a week prior. Mm-hmm. I babied it. I did some rehab for it. But God knows how I got through those matches. I think that's the Cyborg bit in me. As I'm listen, man, I'm just not gonna bitch out. That's just how I am. I did. And what's funny is I'll add on to this. This past summer was just one injury after another. Before this too, because I think this is what led to the MCL getting sprained. Was I landed a month prior to that. I landed hard on a frog splash, and my knee pad was down, and I landed pretty freaking hard on my knee, and I could really barely walk. I got it checked out. I strained the patellar tendon, the LCL. I bruised the kneecap. There was swelling in the knee. I had separated some skin from the skin that attaches or is right by the kneecap. So that's where the fluid was all going. So I did that. then I proceeded to wrestle on that too. Who'd I wrestle? I wrestled like a couple of like really good dudes too. I want to say I was Mike Law at Alley Fights. Actually, it was an Alley Fights match, and my good God, was it hot in that building. I almost sweat to death. Seriously, like I got dehydrated from that. So I wrestle him, and then I go and wrestle DL Hurst in a parking lot.
What?
It was 01 USA Northeast's first like show that they did. It was kind of like their tryout show. I
Wasn't
did
it
that.
like it was out in front of a chicken place or a restaurant or some shit, right?
Dinosaur barbecue, brother. We went in there after the match and had some food, and it was fucking good, man. All right, like props to Anthony Green and his woman there. I think she's the manager of the place or something. But man, they brought out the good food, and man, it was worth working in 110-degree weather with no canopy over us. But that was one of my favorite matches ever, and I really need a rematch with you guys. But yeah, so I've worked through the injuries. I've wrestled through the injuries. Like this Cyborg thing is no joke. Like this is not like, dude, like think about it. T2, okay, again, I keep coming back to that. T2, when he's getting his ass handed to him by the T1000 and he's just crawling along, pieces hanging off of him, and he keeps going, that's me. That's me. That's just how it is. Okay. Like again, you should say it's stupid, but it's what I do. I love this shit. I'm not going to give up this shit.
There's an obvious passion for the biz within Recon, and I'm kind of curious because I like to gauge, and I don't like to use the same question throughout my stuff, but I think myself at least, and I would hope the fans would be interested. As a worker, do you still watch the current product, WWE and Impact and such, or do you just be like, you know what? I wrestle a ton. I got shit to do. And that's really, I kind of fell out of it, not as a fan, but just fell out of watching something regularly on the mainstream.
I'm kind of a mix of them, honestly. Like I'll watch the highlights from like WWE. The thing is as a fan, because we're all still fans. You know what I mean? You could say you're not, but we are. Come on, stop lying to yourself and everybody else. We're still fans. But when I watch WWE, a lot of times I don't see I don't know. It's just kind of like they're just kind of like ho-hum running through matches. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's some gems. All right. I remember seeing AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins, Money in the Bank 2019. Fantastic match. Probably one of the best WWE matches I've seen in years. Because it was just so good. And I'm not saying that any of these guys aren't talented. My good Lord, they're all fabulously talented. Every one of them deserves to be there and have those, that contract and be in that spotlight. Like I'm not at all saying that. So there's that disclaimer. But I just don't. It doesn't connect with me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little too much on the entertainment bit and not enough on the wrestling. So for me, what I honestly have been doing is, I'll watch MLW, I'll watch NWA, because these are places that I could feasibly see myself working. There's a lot of guys that are there that I've either worked or been on shows with. Like I worked Richard Holiday, granted it was a triple threat match. I worked Simon Gotch, 2 MLW guys. Obviously, I know very well and kind of started coming up around the same time as their announcer, Mark Adam Haggerty, my dude. Much love to that guy. I don't know anybody that doesn't like that guy, and if you don't like that guy, fuck you. That's that.
Yeah.
That's how I fuck you. But no, but honestly, me, as far as like what I like to watch and the style that I'm working to get towards is New Japan. New Japan Pro Wrestling, to me, is the best pro wrestling on the planet, bar none. I'll give one match as an example, and if you sit there and tell me that it's not after watching this match, I can't help you. Okay? Go watch the match of the year. Now, to me, it was probably the best non-WWE match I've ever seen. Is last year's match of the year, which was Will Ospreay versus Shingo Takagi, Best of the Super Juniors, the finals, 2019. Just literally look that up. I mean, if you really want me, I'll literally send you that and you can search it and find it. But my good God, my friend, I watched this. I have literally based my training off of this one match. And the dividends that this has paid just by studying this match was ridiculous. Like, absolutely ridiculous. Will Ospreay is the best wrestler on the planet, current wrestler on the planet. Like, you can't tell me otherwise. You can't. So, but that's what I love to watch. Like, I watch this and I get giddy, dude. Okay, the fan in me comes out. That's why I love New Japan. I can't help it. That's what I like to watch. But like WWE, WWE for me is like it's why I became a wrestler. It's why I became a fan. Is that's the first thing I saw, like most people. So it's still got a soft spot. Like NXT, soft spot. Still watch it. Watch the highlights. You know, that's just my take on that.
Yeah, but what happens though is, all right, like my dad, he goes to all of this independent wrestling scene with me, okay? I can't get that dude to sit down and there is never a day, and I shit you not. It could be WWE, it could be ROH, it could be AEW, you name it, he can't stomach it because of shit like this. And I know I'm using WWE as an example, and they're not all like this, but opener, about 15 to 20 minutes, somebody cuts a promo, or 3 or 4 or 5, 6 people cut a promo. Commercial comes. We haven't seen a match yet. They come back from commercial. Wait, there's a promo that's either still continuing or about to start, and then they're going to wrestle after that. My old man, it makes him absolutely fucking sick. So
and when they wrestle, it's like 3 minutes, right? It's what you call a 3-minute TV style match. You get a couple of little things in, you do a couple of woo-ah, and then you take it home. I know what you're talking about. Trust me. Like, if wrestling, like, dude, for me, open a show with a match, then talk. Because we're there for the wrestling.
Yes.
And then we'll listen to you talk.
Now,
that's
if they if they did that one thing, my friend, I'm telling you, make a match every single SmackDown and every single Raw. Just have the match first. Do your fluff after the first commercial or whatever you have to do. Give us what they said they were going to give us what we want a fucking long time ago. My ass, they still haven't given us what we want.
Right? No, that's just like marketing.
Well, hey, man, I watch every single Raw. I watch every single SmackDown. I try to keep up as much ROH as I can because it's an hour show. I watch the AEW, the NXT. I try to really soak as much as I can in, and plus do all of this other stuff. So, I mean, I still love the W. Again, we all grew up on it. I mean, I saw Bob Backlund against Cowboy Bob Orton for the title at Bristol Central High School, my first match, 78. It was amazing. I'll never fucking forget it. But that's what I grew up on, you know?
Exactly.
But yeah, man. Now, as a cyborg, I'm very curious. Do you do many interviews? Because I don't really see too many, or podcasts or any of that. Do you do many of these things?
No, I really don't. And it's not, I don't know. Maybe people are like really like legitimately intimidated by me or something. And don't want to ask me. Like, honestly, like if anybody's actually watching this, which I assume they are, because like there's a fuck ton of people that know Stirring the Pot and Don Kincaid and everything else. Like, if you want me on your podcast, hit me up and be a professional about it, and I'll probably be on your podcast. I'm not a dick, okay? I'm not gonna rip your head off yet. Just it's okay. I'll be on your podcast. Like I said, just be a professional about it. Because trust me, Don, remember that whole DM thing I was telling you about? I get weird people like asking me, hey, could you be on this and this? But the way they ask it and they word it, and like, they usually start with the wave in Messenger, and I immediately go, block. Nah, you're a grown-ass man. You don't get to do this. You don't do this. Even females, when they do it, I'm like, no. So that's it. I like doing interviews and podcasts, especially now, because this is the time to get your shit in. This is the time to get your talking in, because we don't have any wrestling to do. So we'll talk all you want. Just hit me up.
Hey, that's what I did. I opened up the messenger. I envisioned a laser being shot right through Facebook Messenger, going right through my skull. But no, I asked it again. I asked it in I'm not a professional, but I'm not a dick either. I asked it in a very courteous way. Hey, Cyborg.
Dude, just be courteous and or professional. That's really all you need to do. It's amazing what please and thank you will still get you in this world.
And look, we are at an hour and 10 minutes. I didn't even expect Cyborg to stomach me for more than like 17. So I'm doing a good job, I hope.
Yeah.
Hey.
God damn, we talked that long? Shit, it didn't feel good, man. Like, it really didn't.
As I said to Ronnie Ribbs, as I was all tanked on moonshine, a couple of mentions hanging out and talking wrestling, the time goes by, you know?
It does. It really does. That's what happens when you talk about or doing something you love, man. That's why show days go by like that. I'm like, oh shit, it's 11 and I have to drive 3 hours home. Awesome.
Now, I would absolutely never sleep tonight in a good manner, because the relationship that you have with Christina Marie, it's very close. And you guys, when you say you're brother and sister, that's not like, hey, brother, brother. No, that's fucking brother and sister, you guys. I would like to give us a little bit of your relationship with Christina Marie, because Christina Marie loves her some Recon and talked very nice of him.
Oh, I'm flattered, but no, she really is like my little sister. Honestly, I met her when I was working out at the gym that we both go to. It's in Albany. It's called Albany Strength, and I was working out, and at that time I wasn't as svelte and fit as I am now. There was a reason why I wore the singlet for a while, brother. Okay, so I'm just being honest. I was a bit of a husky boy. So just giving you some. Hey, that's just the truth. That's just how it is. I had the dad bod before it was cool. So screw all you guys trying to get the dad bod now thinking you cool. No, get some abs like me. No, but I met her there, and she was like she was a really sweet person, like she is now. Like, her personality really hasn't changed, but she was a little more shy. She wasn't as outgoing as she is now. But honestly, and she just kind of came in and she wanted to like kind of work out. We had like a mutual friend, a friend of mine. I'd known him for years, and he was like her manager, like her job. And he was like, yeah, come on in, work out. Cause she had kind of wanted to start working out, and she just started working out, and she took it to like a fish to freaking water, dude. I was like, God damn, how are you moving that shit? It took me like 3 years to move that shit. What the hell? Like, and she's like, I figured it out in 3 weeks. I could still deadlift 300 pounds. I'm like, screw you, man. All right? God damn. So, I mean, she's one tough chick, man. But at the same time, like, it was weird because she knew I started training for wrestling, and I loved wrestling and all that. And she grew up with it, watching with her dad. And she was like, I don't know how to, I kind of want to do it. And I told her, come down to my school. I'm sure she hated me after, the robot was kicking her ass for, months or years at a time. But obviously it paid off because look where she is now. She's a freaking women's champion. Every promotion she walks into, they're like, just here, take the belt. Don't kill me. That's it. As you can see, this school created a couple of killers. All right. There's me, babyface killer. There's her, chick killer. So, I mean, obviously, like, we were trained well, and, it pays off. So, like I said, she really is like, truly like a actual sister. I really see her as like my sister. And yeah, like you say, it's not a brother thing. That's my sister. I will fuck your world up if you hurt her. Like, I will literally stick my foot through your head. No joke. Shoot, I actually told Johnny Moran. Now, he's a nice guy. I love Johnny Moran. I absolutely love that guy. He's one of my favorite people in wrestling. Good dude. Really good dude. All right? So I'm putting him over here on this Stirring the Pot. If you haven't had him on, try to get him on.
Yeah.
But no, good dude. But I did tell him. I gave him the big brother talk. I was like, just be nice to her, bro. That's all I'm saying. Because there's been a lot of douchebags in her life. Be the good guy. Okay, please. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to have to hurt you. And he's been the good guy the whole time. So
Right.
It's a combination of him being a good dude and me giving him the talk. Like, hey, listen, be good. But no, I'm just playing. No, me and her gone back from the beginning. We've been there. We've been on so many shows, and now we're both champions. At Immortal, it's like our home promotion, so it's like obviously that hard work paid off, and we still got that bond, and I don't see that bond going anywhere ever. So,
well, that's the kind of stuff that I'm hoping that the fans, or I'm sorry if it's just my mom and dad watching, and maybe Christina. I'm sorry, and maybe Mr. De Niro. That's possible too. I apologize for that. That's on me. But for the fans that are watching, I would think that those things that you share with us, that all the men and women that have been on here have graciously spent some time here talking to us, but not just anyone talking to, and I don't do what's your favorite match? When did you get into wrestling? I don't do that. I like to kind of just talk as friends and have a conversation. And that brings out, I think, a little more behind the curtain, because now we've talked about a beautiful friendship between Rick Recon and Christina to cap off almost an hour and a half of talking with Rick Recon. I'm telling you, I really thought this was going to last 17 fucking minutes.
Hour and a half. I mean, you stomached me for an hour and a half. You must have an iron stomach. You might have Cyborg in there, bro. Okay, because you could deal with me for an hour and a half. Me running my mouth thinking I'm all that. Okay, so.
And like I said at the top, you are gorgeous. I could sit here and listen to you talk all effing night, man. I go, and I'm not sure, I can't remember if it was Ref Bill Thompson, which would make sense. But I've talked to so many men and women over the course, because I'm doing 3 on the weeknights, 4 a day on the four a day on the weekend days. This Sunday, I got 5 interviews. Saturday, I mean, I'm peppering out. But somebody mentioned that who the hell wants to sit there and look at you for an hour and a half? And I totally agree. So you being on is going to keep their attention for an hour and 20 minutes, because they don't want to see my stupid ass face when they've got the Cyborg to stare at with that beautiful Immortal Championship wrestling title, Northeast champion right there. The Cyborg, Rick Recon. I mean, I cannot thank you for spending your time with me, the fans, maybe just my mom and dad. Again, I got to reiterate so you don't kill me later. Spending the time with me.
I'm sure it's a few more, man. I see the views. It's few more.
This time has been amazing, and I can't wait to get everybody's. I've had Big Juicy. I've had Blue Shoes ref Gina tonight, right before you. And
really, I want to see that. I want to hear that one. I don't want to hear mine. I want to hear hers.
and tonight on this fine Wednesday, we capped it off. And she's part of Zebra Week. I've got more referees coming too. You are actually part of it, but you're not a zebra, so we don't include you in that. But we have spent an amazing time with amazing talent all night long. And my man, Rick Recon, I cannot thank you for capping off this night with some good conversation, sharing some stories, sharing your love. You did that for many things. And your contribution to the industry right now, I'm still watching them. I'm going to follow. Oh, before I let you go, give us some social media so we can all follow you.
All right. Well, I mean, Facebook, you could just look up Rick Recon. I'm there with, my vest showing off my abs and shit, that one. On Instagram, it's the same thing, Rick_Recon. Again, pretty easy to find. Twitter, RickRecon1. Again, you'll know it's me.
Hey, you cannot pass up. Go check out Rick Recon. Go check his stuff out. If you dig it, get on board. If you don't, give it a little bit. Get on board after. Because like Rick Recon said, everybody gets on the Rick train, and I'm scared to even see what the hell that's all about. This was Sir in the Pot with Don Kincaid and my man, my very special guest, the Cyborg Rick Recon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Believe me, I appreciate it. Much love, man.
Whoa, shit, we're going down.